Good day, wherever you are. Welcome to eLearnChat. This is episode number 73. Here we are. It is
Wow.
September 26th, about 8 a.m. in the morning. And joining me is our co-host. Hey, there
Good
she is.
morning.
Hey, Dawn, how are you today?
Good morning, everyone. I'm good. Thank you. Beautiful day in Wisconsin.
Dawn actually survived the Packer game this Monday, and she's okay. She'll be okay. We had to do cardiac resuscitation, but she is good.
Grrr.
Dawn is from Wisconsin, if you are wondering. She's in Wisconsin, if you're wondering.
That's right. I'm home in my house today. That's why you get to see all this behind me in my living room.
Now, today we've got an old friend of mine, and, well, he's not old, he's just a friend of mine. Anyway, we've got with us Josh Cavalier. He is the president and owner of Lodestone, which is a training company. They do development. Been around for about 12 years, and they're also an Adobe certified partner. So they do a lot of training. You can take a look at his website right here, and we'll show it later on in the show too. It's www.lodestone.com, and he's also going to be speaking at the Adobe Learning Summit, which is in about less than 4 weeks, or about 4 weeks. So he'll be over there talking about subjects relating to Captivate. And what else do we have here? We've got all sorts of stuff.
I wanted to go to that.
Yeah, we've also, well, he's also well known. We'll get back to that one. He's got a little bit of an alter ego occasionally.
Oh,
Anyway, let's
really?
get him on camera here. Hey, Josh, how
Wow.
are you
Let's see
today?
Josh.
Hey guys.
Good
How are
morning.
you doing? You're
Glad you're
actually
here.
and you're actually in a classroom right now teaching.
Yes, I am. Let me see if I can get this thing fixed up here.
Let's see him.
All right. How's that, Rick? Does that look good?
That looks good.
Like it.
Okay. Hey, Dawn, I'm actually jealous because you're in Wisconsin. Are you close to Milwaukee at all?
I am. I was in Milwaukee on Monday.
So one of my favorite burger places in the world is in Milwaukee called Cops.
Oh, yes. Very famous.
Oh my gosh. They have the best
Very-
custard too.
Yes, they do. Cops in
Oh.
Milwaukee and Kroll's in Green Bay. Same,
That's it.
same.
Good stuff.
Very good. And then, of course, we have that other product we make, beer. Lots of beer.
I love that. I love that too. It's good stuff.
I'm getting hungry.
I know. We could do a food
If it
show
was
if you
football
want.
Saturday,
right.
we could actually raise a glass.
That's right. Let's go back to diners, drive-ins, and dives.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, anyway, let's talk a little bit. Aside from the stuff you do, there's a certain thing going on with you. I'm going to show a website that you've got.
Sure.
And it's Captain Captivate. Now, for all of those who don't know, years ago, Josh was actually possessed by an alien force. And it was known as Captain Captivate. Yes, Captain Captivate. In fact, Captain Captivate has powers beyond those of normal men. And you have maybe seen Josh at some of the trade shows where he is actually in his Captain Captivate regalia. Josh, are you back by any chance?
No, I'm not, but somebody else is.
Somebody else? Let's go see.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, it's him.
Woo! Captain Captivate.
It's Captain Captivate. Joining us
Greetings.
today. Greetings.
It needs a little CP on it because otherwise I could mistake you for the Green Hornet.
Or the Green Lantern. But in this
Or the
case,
Green
it's
Lantern.
Captain Captivate.
There's the CP.
There
There's
it
the
is. There it
CP.
is. I'm so
How's
excited
everybody
we have a
doing
secret
today?
guest.
I never told you. I actually thought of doing that once, but I don't look good in tights. So,
So you say.
oh no, you don't want
I
to see
do
me in
have
tights.
tights, but I choose not to wear them.
I got a lot of jokes, but I'm just gonna not
We're
say
gonna,
any
we're
of
gonna,
them.
we're gonna keep the we're gonna keep it clean.
Yeah, we're
Let's
gonna keep it PG rated.
Anyway, well, this is the very first time in ages that we've had, actually the very first time period, that we've had a superhero actually joining us.
Well, I'm feeling super, Rick, and I want to I want to point a couple things out that as Captain Captivate, I know I have to protect people that are doing e-learning out there. And did you ever notice that LMS sounds close to Nemesis? They
Nemesis.
sound very similar. That's why I'm here.
That's right. You are
Yeah.
Guarding us from evil.
or guarding us from LMSs.
Yes,
That'll work.
that too. But luckily in Captivate 6, hey, it's getting a little bit better. And there's not so much evil out there anymore. And we're starting to hook up the LMSs a little bit easier these days.
That's right, because they're using Rustisi like everyone else. That's a good thing.
Yes, it's all good. It's all very good. So I got a couple things going on. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be doing a Captivate Masters class. I'm going to be there, and we're going to hit everything about Captivate 5, 5, and 6.
Oh, great.
And that's October 9th through the 12th.
Are you finding that a lot of people are still on? Oh, how many? I guess not as many have yet upgraded. People are slowly upgrading. I talk to people still on 4, on 5. Some are on 5.5. So it seems to be all over the board. What's your experience right now?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with what folks are comfortable with. And, like anything, if you are using Captivate and you're in a corporation, you've established a workflow, you're using a specific tool like Captivate 5 or 5.5, they may not jump into it right away. I see folks that are new to Captivate go ahead and actually go to 6. For folks that are looking to go to mobile, they're switching over from 5 and 5.5 to 6 because of the HTML5 output. Right. So there are some motivations to actually move to 6, but for folks that are have been successful with the prior version, they're sticking and staying. But again, I see folks gradually moving to 6 once they understand all the great new features that are in there, like interactions and actors, smart shapes, and of course the HTML5 output.
That sounds good. Now, today we were going to talk a little bit about some of the differences between Captivate and Storyline. There's a lot of talk about that right now, and also some of the missed opportunities. And we've only got you for about 21 minutes left today, so we're going to hit these topics pretty quickly. Josh is in the middle of doing training, so we've got to let him fly back to the class pretty soon.
Exactly. So I'm actually going to I got to step away, Rick. My Fortress of Solitude. I got to head back there real quick, so I'm going to step out for a second, and I'll just be right back.
I didn't see the hands before. Wow.
That's right.
And green hands. Leva commented that there are still several people using version 4, and she actually had to pop back into 4 to answer a question in the forum this morning.
There's a lot
earlier
of people
today.
Yeah, there's a lot of people using 4.
I wondered, as a non-user yet, but I'm pretty close to buying my own license, how easily you can adapt from 4 to 6.
It's pretty different.
Oh.
It's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of new stuff, and there's some differences. There's quite a bit of difference. If you've gone from 4 to 5 or 5.5, it won't be as hard going to 6. But there are some big differences from 4 to 5 and 5 to 5.5. So it'll be interesting.
Oh my gosh, who was that?
Who was that? That masked man.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, he just pulled me right out of the seat, and this guy with this green cape came in, and I don't know what happened. That was kind of odd.
It happens. I used to have that same problem with the Uru hammer, but I've gotten over it. So.
Wow.
Well, Josh.
Yes.
Captivate versus Storyline. That's always a good one. You and I have done development in both.
Right.
We've only been doing Storyline for about, I'd say 6 weeks, and we're having a pretty good experience. So what's your experience been? What do you see as some of the major differences, some of the good and the bad, I guess?
Sure. Well, just to give you some background, I have been working with Captivate prior to it being Captivate all the way to Robo Demo and even FlashCam, and picked up Storyline. I mean, there's requests in the industry to work with various tools. So we picked up Storyline here at Lodestone. We have been doing some development work with it, and we also teach classes on Storyline. So I've been in both products for a long period of time, at least as long as Storyline's been out, as far as the beta. And here's my take on each of these products. So there's a lot of overlap in regards to slide-based metaphor, timeline, and just some commonalities that you find in all e-learning applications. But the differences are with Storyline that you have an easier way to build interactivity, at least for right now. And what I've found, at least when I'm in development, that I can actually go in and have more freedom with my interactions as far as states and how slides are set up with layers and light boxing. So they've built into the program some things that I guess folks are looking for a long time, like drag and drop. It's very easy to implement a drag and drop. And this Friday, I'm actually going to be doing a free seminar on Storyline interactions, demonstrating some of these features. But, okay, I mean, you have to, once you put a tool in production, you can go ahead and everything looks great and you get excited about these things. But once you put a tool in production, then you start realizing that there's some deficiencies in it there. And I got to be fair, because I just can't, sing praises on everything. You got to be realistic about these tools. And so some of the deficiencies I see in the tool is that there's no library. And I know that when I'm doing Captivate development, I love working with the library, especially with round trip editing. Yep. I have to go ahead and update an audio file. And Rick, you know about this because you're doing development day in and day out.
I beta tested too on Strat. That's the first thing I said, where's the library?
Yeah.
You really, that library makes a big difference when you're trying to just work with media and assets.
Right, exactly. And I know that when we teach our Captivate classes, one of the great things that people get really excited about is the ability to go ahead and perform these round-trip edits between Photoshop, between Adobe Audition, and it saves them a lot of time, including round-trip editing with PowerPoint. Again, a big time saver. And so in Storyline, we don't have a library. And also another deficiency I've seen is in the recording process. So both applications, Captivate and Storyline, can record screens, but we're having a hard time swapping out backgrounds in Storyline. So that has also been an issue. Also, doing some kind of global navigation using layers and master slides and trying to put navigation on those master slides has caused some headaches. But Storyline, I have to say, I got excited about it when I started using it, and as far as building interactions and importing a large PowerPoint deck and adding that interactivity, it's very easy. Now, just to be fair, I'm going to talk about what's going on with Captivate. I'm excited as far as the way that they have updated the interface and the introduction of smart shapes. Smart shapes are extremely powerful. I'm excited about using them. You could put smart shapes, which are also buttons. You could put those on master slides. They're really easy, and if you want to go ahead and add a caption. So they're replacing the old caption format. At least, they still have the old one in there, but they want folks to go to smart shapes. And those are really fun to work with. They've added actors or characters in there. They've added interactions, which also work very well in HTML5. And they've done they've gotten a lot of feedback from folks in regards to quizzing. There's a pre-test in there now that I absolutely love. The ability to go ahead and subtract points if somebody gets a question wrong. And so in looking at the tools, they each have their own strengths and their own weaknesses. And I would say that you really want to make sure that you go ahead and you evaluate what you're trying to do with the tool and what your output types are to make sure you pick the right one.
And if you have the budget, buy both.
Exactly. I would buy both because you really want to make sure that you have the right tool in your tool belt, depending upon the output type and how folks are going to consume that media. And so it's. I know that we use both tools, and it's. I'm glad that we do. Again, they each have their own strengths, and I think for folks, you're going to find that with folks that have been using Captivate for a while, they're committed with the tool, I think they're going to go ahead and stick with the tool. Where I see the Storyline adoption happening are folks that are evaluating tools for the first time. Maybe they're trying to implement a new e-learning department, or they're bringing out new e-learning resources, and they're trying to evaluate and pick the tool brand new out of the gate. And so we have been doing some on-site training for Storyline where those situations came up.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the ability to do interactions, the layers, the states in Storyline is really sweet. It works beautifully. And we noticed that when we're doing development, we're doing a lot more interactivity now with Storyline than we did with Captivate because it
Right.
just lends itself easily to it. And you said there are some issues. I mean, no product is perfect.
No.
I think what Captivate needs to do, or what Adobe needs to do, is make sure that they retain quality in
Right.
Captivate. Let's stop all the bugs and all the stuff that we constantly see with Captivate. If they can do that, then they're going to have a killer product too. And that's been something that's plagued Captivate for almost every version since the beginning. There's always been bugs.
Yeah, and you gotta. I have, you finally get to the realization that no matter if you're buying a piece of hardware or if you're getting a piece of software, there's
Yep.
inherently flaws
Sure.
in it. And and so when we teach our classes, we just make sure that we tell folks what the workarounds are for those. And Captivate is an extremely strong product. I mean, Captain Captivate, come on, So I love the tool, and I'm excited about the direction that they're going with the tool. And all these additions and updates they made with it, especially the interactions and the output to HTML5, that's really strong. And that's what I'm going to be talking about when I'm in Vegas at the Adobe Learning Summit, are the mobile output.
Yep. Now, there are some limitations in the HTML5 that I've seen, which have to do with,
Right.
I think, rollovers,
Right.
slidelets, things like that don't yet work. So that's some of the interactivity goes away when you go mobile, at least at this point. I'm sure that's going to get fixed imminently.
Yeah. So one of the, obviously with the rollover, you can't hover over your flat panel and get an event to
Right,
happen.
right.
So what we do is actually use an advanced action and have somebody click a button to reveal, using show hide actions to reveal content.
Right.
So you can have an interaction that way and reveal information using advanced actions.
Yep. Just work around it, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So hey, overall, what I love, I think this is good for all of us, is that there's competition. It's only going to make these tools better.
That's true.
And I'm cheering for both of these companies because I want to be able to go into, and when I teach my students, I want it to be effortless. I want them to go in and have an amazing experience with these tools. And now if there's some competition, I think we're going to see that, especially with the next versions, with the next iterations, because the heat's on. And so,
It is.
let's see what happens the next go around.
It is, and there's other tools out there. Everybody's competing, which is good. Actually,
I love it.
When you have one tool, you're kind of dead. So this is actually good right now. Everybody's getting a lot more choices,
Yeah.
and the vendors can feel the heat, which is even better.
Yeah, go talk to the folks at Quark about that.
Oh, good old Quark, yeah.
Going way back on that one, but yeah, that's what happened
And
there.
it's funny because I actually thought they were out of business. I think they're still around. It's just that you don't hear much about them.
Right.
So that's sort of interesting. InDesign 1.
Right, exactly. So, again, I think it's whatever tool you're comfortable with, and again, just evaluate what the pros are with the tools before you go ahead and you jump in.
Now, Josh, you've been working quite a bit with mobile for quite a few years now. I think at least, 3-4 years, if not longer. And
Yeah.
I know you guys have done projects in it already. You said there are some, I guess, missed opportunities that have
Right.
gone on in the industry. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. I think one of the big things that, when I see these mobile devices and I think about from a training standpoint what occurs in the real world or what happens and how folks want to access the information, these devices, they're pretty special in what they do. And in regards to GPS, geolocation, the accelerometer, going in and using it as an overlay to the real world, it's phenomenal. But where are these features in the tools of today? What if I want to go ahead and figure out, hey, where's my student at geographically, and then bring up different training for that? What if I want to have a student scan in a QR? We have a situation where we have a power company, and there's guys up on a pole. They scan in a QR code, and a video comes up. But where are these features in the current e-learning tools of today? Folks have to rig these things or build special apps just to get this stuff to work. And as a rapid e-learning tool instructor, I don't see it. And that's the missed opportunity right there. I it just baffles me that you have these incredible devices, and I don't know if it's because there's folks aren't ramping up enough, but it's kind of chicken or the egg. What's going to come first? I think the tools have to be out there. I think folks have to be aggressive, and we need better e-learning tools out there that take advantage of the core features within these devices. And I realize that there's some things going on with HTML5 that's slowing that down, but I still should be able to go ahead and have a tool where I could build an app and get the app out there, take full advantage of the phone, and scan in a QR code, have a video come up, recognize where somebody is geographically, what's their elevation or whatever. Mm-hmm. Have them take a photo, have the photo analyzed, and they can go ahead and get some training information from that. It's an incredible performance support tool,
sure,
but we don't have any tools out there.
Right. I wonder if something like Adobe Edge might, well, it's not really built for e-learning. It's really more of an animation tool, but that would be interesting because that has a lot of those built-in things. I think they are taking more advantage of the mobile platform, but we'll see.
Right.
That is HTML5. Though you're right, I don't know if they're taking advantage of screen rotations, the Excel, all the good stuff that's in there.
Exactly. I also think that you're going to have a lot of folks explore what's happening with the latest in digital publishing, especially in the documentation side. You have all these old documents that were all done in FrameMaker, and there's some great new features in FrameMaker 11 that we're looking at right now. But I see there's a lot of future with EPUB 3 and the multimedia capabilities in EPUB to enhance what's happening with documents, to make them more rich and better features inside, as opposed to just tons and tons of text that folks have to flip through.
Right.
You think about the pilots today and how you keep hearing stories about how those giant thick manuals are being replaced with iPads. There's a huge opportunity there, and again, I just don't think folks are taking advantage of it.
Well, you know what I read? One of our old friends, somebody I love, Silke Fleischer.
Oh, yeah.
Silke's the one who did the project for Boeing, converting to their iPad documentation and stuff. I'm pretty sure that was her.
Awesome.
And that is great.
Yeah.
Eric and Silke have their own company. ATIV,
right.
I think ATIV Solutions or Software. They do a great job. And, for all you guys who've been around for a long time, Silke was the product manager at one point for Adobe Captivate. We all know her from there. I think I've known Silke a little over 10 years. So
I met Silke at a Captivate Masters class in New York City that we did, and it was great finally to meet her, and I still stay in touch with her.
Yep, same here. Love Silke. Yeah. She's just cool. Hey, Dawn. You got two geeks talking, so let's get you in a little bit. Anything going on in the chat room?
Am I on?
You're on. Yeah, couldn't hear you.
Okay, I must have pushed the button. Leva's question is, what do you think about liquid layout, responsive web design, and she put all missing in Captivate. So.
Yeah, that is a huge deficiency. To me, responsive design is the future. Now, this is my take on responsive. For those that are not familiar with responsive design, pretty much when I want to go ahead and take a device and I want to rotate or change the orientation, it's going to go ahead and change the layout, right?
Uh-huh.
And also, you can change the width of the window, and we change the width, the whole entire layout changes. You have to see it to believe it. It is incredible. Here's my take on it. When I have a very large screen, like an iPad or a desktop, I want to go ahead and see a full-fledged multimedia course. I got a lot of screen real estate, so interactivity and video interactions, all that. But when I'm on a smaller device, wouldn't it be great if we just went ahead and used responsive or fluid design to actually go ahead and change the course so it's a performance support product? That would be amazing. You could. That's another tool I want. So here's my wish list. Christmas is coming. This is my wish list. So I want a tool that I can go in and program and put performance support capabilities in there. And then when I'm on a smaller device, it's a performance support. All my content is repositioned, and now it's a performance support tool. I go to a larger device, and now I have a full-fledged course. That is the panacea. That is the ultimate right there.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh, I get excited just thinking about it. Someone's going to make a lot of money when they come out with that tool.
Yep.
Not going to be me, unfortunately. So
that's the reality. The development tools for small devices are happening outside of the main players. So better get on board, right?
Exactly.
She also says, did you download the new Edge tools?
Yeah, so Edge came out, and I just downloaded the new Edge tools on my cloud account the other evening, actually when it just came out, just to take a quick look. I opened up Edge Animator. I animated a rectangle. I said, cool, and then I closed it.
Well, you're ready.
That's all the time I have.
So it says Captivate. She just is finishing kind of the thought about RoboHelp, FrameMaker. RoboHelp is a little more advanced, but disappointed in FrameMaker. But it's Captivate eLearning that's not jumping into the realm that you described a few minutes ago.
Again, it's up to these developers to understand what's happening in the marketplace, and there's a huge shift that's happening, and I'm seeing this right now. I have some HR resources that come in, and they're scared. I mean, some of these folks are truly scared because in the K through 12 here in the States, K through 12 environment in higher ed, the implementation of technology is so much faster than what's happening in corporate. These kids, when they get out of school and they're going to start looking for work, their expectation levels are going to be so sky high when it comes to implementation of technology. These IT departments are behind. HR doesn't know how to hire these people because it's going to say, well, why don't you come into our environment that has slow connections and no Facebook or YouTube hooks?
And hey, we're running Windows XP.
Yeah.
Well, and also the schools, at least here in Wisconsin for sure, but I get K through 12 blog entries and emails for professional development all the time because I want to see what's available that my tax dollars paying for that, but I want to know in the education space. And the teachers are obligated to continue their learning technology knowledge, to use the best, newest. They're using iPads in classrooms in northern Wisconsin where there's no budget for anything. So I know professional development dollars are being spent wisely, but why can't we have that in corporate sector or government or wherever?
Right. There's a huge gap that's being formed today, and IT departments they're going to have to scramble to keep up. And here's another thing I think that's going on, and a lot of this happened due to the recession, is that you had folks that had their jobs, and if I had my job, would you do anything risky? Would you put your neck out there and try some new things like do an iPad implementation or do something like that? No way. But if you look at K through 12, they're taking risks left and right. What do they have to lose other than trying a new platform or a new process on a new device that's being put in these kids' hands? And I keep reading and looking at all kinds of articles about how kids with like autism are being empowered to actually go ahead and learn with these iPads. I think they're great tools. I just think they're underutilized in business environment. You also talk about security in corporate and government agencies. They're not going to have people run around with devices. So these two environments are very counter to each other, but they're colliding. And HR and IT departments are really going to have to get it together in the next 4 or 5 years, or we're just going to see all these skills that these kids are picking up lost when they actually come into the corporate environment.
In my world, in senior housing, we're using computers and starting to insert iPads and netbooks into the space for dementia residents, and they probably don't remember ever using a computer, but from the mind, hand-eye coordination, all of that, they're remembering.
Wow.
But more importantly, we're using it to maintain the level that they're at, intellectually, and it's working.
Right.
So there's a whole other market.
Great.
Well, we're at the end of your time. It is about 8:31 over here, so I know you've got to get going.
I do.
And hey, we really appreciate having you on. We need to have you on again so we can get into more stuff with a little bit more time.
Right.
But
it felt like we just got started.
I know.
It's true.
I know. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about.
Right.
But Josh, is always a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you. Are you hanging out for DevLearn? Oh no, you're leaving, so you're not going to be at DevLearn.
Right. I have a 6-year-old, and so Halloween comes, and I got to get on a plane and get out of Vegas. So not that I don't want to be in Vegas during Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? So
I think Vegas is always Halloween, so it doesn't probably matter. But
right.
But so I probably won't see you at ALS because I'm arriving Tuesday. You're probably leaving Tuesday.
That's correct.
So
and Leva wants to know if she'll meet you in Las Vegas. She'll be there for the pre-conferences. I don't know. She doesn't indicate if she's going to be at the summit or not, but
she's arriving, I think, Sunday night. So she's not at the summit, but she'll be in Vegas that time. So she'll probably be hanging around somewhere around there.
I'll be there
You're
Saturday.
leaving Tuesday, right, Josh?
I'll be there Saturday, warming up the blackjack tables.
There you go.
But anyway, hey,
Great.
good luck at ALS.
Okay.
That's the Adobe Learning Summit. What class are you teaching there?
Right, I'm doing one on mobile and Captivate 6. I'm
Great.
really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
And for all of you, you've seen, you can look at the show, and we'll have it on the show notes. You can get in touch with Josh by going to www.lodestone.com.
Yep.
Anyway,
Okay.
Josh, you have a great one. Enjoy the class over there, and
All right.
we'll see you next time on eLearnChat. Have a good one, everyone.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See you, Don.
See ya.